Ranking member is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong opposition to H. Resolution 430, a resolution authorizing the Committee on Judiciary to initiate or intervene in judicial proceedings to enforce certain subpoenas and for other purposes. This resolution is an assault on this body's constitutional oversight authorities. By proceeding in this unprecedented manner, the House is putting the judicial branch in an unfortunate position. Never before has the House authorized the General Counsel to sue without first exhausting all our constitutional remedies to gain compliance with our oversight demands. Proceeding in this manner risks weakening our ability to carry out our oversight responsibilities. On May 8th, the Judiciary Committee voted 24-16 to hold Attorney General Barr in criminal contempt of Congress. The committee did not pursue contempt against Donald McGahn. Mr. McGahn's case is unique, and I will address it in more detail later. Contrary to press reports, Mr. Speaker, we are not acting today on the contempt citation reported by the Judiciary Committee. We are authorizing the House to sue the Attorney General, Mr. McGahn, and any other official or private citizen any committee chair deems contemptuous in the future. This is a novel, untested, and risky proposition. I'll give it to you this way, Mr. Speaker. The majority is definitely audacious in their request. The media and the Democrats routinely rail against the President being quick to sue. Well, Mr. Speaker, that's exactly what the majority is doing. Having rushed to contempt, we are now bypassing that remedy altogether and going straight to court. Constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley recently wrote, Democrats' litigation strategy is clearly driven more by political than legal calculations. This is the problem I have, Mr. Speaker. These tactics weaken the House. They aggrandize the executive branch and cede decision-making to the judicial branch. This is a problem. The majority can mess up oversight however they want to. The majority can rush to judgment whenever they want to. My chairman has subpoenaed most everything that moves, and it seems other committees are wanting to as well. But here's the problem. When you're rushing to this and you're taking it on grounds that are not legally sound, in which, by the way, at this same hearing where Mr. Turley was at, all three of the Democrat witnesses also agreed that the subpoena of the Attorney General was not legal in the sense that it was asking him to do something illegal. The other issue here is yet that when practiced proper oversight, we are getting documents on election results. We're also getting documents on immigration and others from this administration. Where the rub has come is in overbroad, illegal subpoenas from these committees. Now, they may want to screw it up now for this and their purposes, but I don't want it in the future going forward where this House oversight ability has been tampered by a rush to judgment. Let's think about this institution more than our next headline. This is a problem because it is uncertain here, Mr. Speaker. The House will even be granted standing in court since we have declined to exercise all of our constitutional remedies, namely contempt in its many forms. This is not only the only impediment facing Democrats. At every turn, as we have discussed in our minority views of the committee contempt report, the majority refused to engage with DOJ in the requisite negotiations and accommodation processes. During our markup of the contempt resolution, the chairman made several damaging admissions. This is a chairman of the Judiciary Committee. First, he conceded the Attorney General could not lawfully comply with his subpoena demanding grand jury material. Second, he stated the subpoena was the beginning of a dialogue. I'm not sure what first-year law student would believe that a subpoena is the beginning of a dialogue. The third, he admitted the subpoena was intentionally broad to give the committee clout in court. Again, not sure which Black's Law Dictionary we're looking up under subpoena, but that's not part of it. All along, the goal has been to get to court, not to get information and conduct legitimate oversight of Russian interference or secure our elections. If Democrats were interested in these good government initiatives, they would have accepted DOJ's offer to review the nearly unredacted Mueller report. To date, Mr. Speaker, the chairman even has not done so. The goal is to clearly haul the administration into court in an attempt to pacify a base rabid for impeachment. When the Congress has exercised its oversight powers, it must take advantage of every offer of information from the other branch. It is disingenuous to decline free information Democrats so strongly claim to want. It shows the majority does not want the information. You want to fight. In addition to the subpoena being overly broad and requiring the Attorney General to violate the law to comply, the chairman failed to establish a valid legislative purpose for his demands. Therefore, are other avenues the chairman could seek to get the information he wants. Congress could pass a law granting itself an exemption to grand jury secrecy rules, but the majority's not brought that up. The most alarming aspect of this action, however, is the unprecedented speed. A mere 44 days passed between the chairman's first request to the Attorney General and the date the committee held him in contempt. In stark contrast, 464 days passed from the date the Chairman Issa requested information from Attorney General Holder on Fast and Furious, and the date Oversight Committee held him in contempt. 138 days for Harriet Miers before held in contempt. The action of the majority is authorizing today against Don McGahn, however, Mr. Speaker, is far more egregious for many reasons. Mr. McGahn is not the custodian of the documents the committee and the chairman demands. The White House is. Yet we're smearing a private citizen's reputation and dragging him into court at taxpayer expense in an effort to redo the Mueller investigation because the majority in the media didn't like the outcome. Democrats, again, have failed to lay a foundation for any action against Mr. McGahn. Chairman Nadler has never formally objected to the President's protective assertion of executive privilege or other common law privileges asserted by Mr. McGahn. Under Supreme Court precedent, the chairman must take this important procedural step to pursue further actions against a witness. The witness should be given a clear-cut choice between compliance and noncompliance, between answering the question and risking prosecution for contempt. Here, the witness is being hauled into court without proper notice. Evidence of this glaring error is in the record. On May 31st, Chairman Nadler wrote Mr. McGahn's counsel and stated he did not agree with the White House or Mr. McGahn and offered to continue negotiating. But the chairman also gave Mr. McGahn a deadline of June 7th, this past Friday, to respond. Meanwhile, the Rules Committee noticed a markup of this resolution on June the 6th, one day before the deadline. I think we're seeing the pattern here. This is a revealing error, but errors occur when you're pushing action through at light speed and ceding your power to the judicial branch. A court will decide whether the House has standing, whether the case is right, and whether the Congress is entitled to the information outside of an impeachment inquiry. As also has been said, the propositions are a gamble. Here, Mr. Speaker, we are gambling with the power of a co-equal branch. This approach is untested and can do significant harm to Congress's Article I authority. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I must make mention the authorization of the General Counsel to seek pro bono legal services circumvents the House ethics rules. Can I have another minute?
The gentleman from Georgia, another minute.
The gentleman is allowed an additional minute.
To seek pro bono legal services circumvents House ethics rules. Those rules provide an exception for members to bring civil action challenging the lawfulness of an action of a federal agency or an action of a federal official taken in official capacity, provided that the action concerns a matter of public interest rather than a matter that is impersonal in nature. This resolution contravenes ethics rules by giving the General Counsel the authority, in Mr. McGahn's case, to solicit a gift, pro bono legal services. I'm not sure that was the majority's intent, but the inconsistencies result when Democrats aim to rush resolutions through the House outside of regular order. Mr. Speaker, the majority may wish to change the rules. The majority may wish to get to the finish line quicker. The majority may wish to circumvent everything that is a precedent in this House, and we've seen a lot of it over the past 5.5 months. But I wish they would take into account that they may not be the majority forever, hopefully. And that if they mess up oversight of a co-equal branch, it is on their hands. That is what the vote for yes is on this resolution. That is why a member of this body should vote no for the integrity of this House. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.